Hello, 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 and welcome, my Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your twin flame contract for July into August 2020. I am your reader, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive president of Drawing the Circle Productions, the Archangel of Lyons. But your dad just calls me Mal. Welcome, 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 my subscribers. Thank you so much. Welcome back. Thank you for helping me on my journey. I'm growing and glowing and going strong because of your love, support, and following along. Thank you so much. To anyone new to the channel that might be watching, welcome. Please do consider following along. I'm the fun one on YouTube, Dionysus archetype that I am, and please do consider subscribing, liking the video, hitting the notification bell, commenting if it resonates. By all means, feel free to comment below. It helps people see the work that I do. So let's get down to it. Shall we? We're looking at a twin flame contract for July, August 2020, August-ish, right? Or timeless, whenever you are supposed to see it. This is a timeless read as well for people who come across it when they need to. But a twin flame contract is not a soulmate contract. They're not the same thing. There's a lot of different opinions on what twin flames and soulmates are, and that's why there are some links in the description box explaining how I read this kind of stuff. A couple are by me, but one of them in particular is the one that turned my head around on the whole subject, by a spiritual teacher by the name of Matt Kahn. His healing mantra deck will be the last card down in this spread. The one he did is called Soul Contracts, Twin Flames and Soulmates Redefined. I never liked the words, honestly. For decades, them being conflated together. That video really changed my mind about all of that, so to speak. He's a really good spiritual teacher and an intuitive, right? You can just tell when you watch his work. Anyway, the difference is that soulmates, you help each other heal. Twin flames, you teach each other how to heal yourselves. It's a lot trickier than it sounds, right? My mom and I, soulmate contract. My father and I, twin flame contract. I guess I came in to do this work, right? So, of course, you have more than one soulmate. You have more than one twin flame in each lifetime, and they're not all romantic sexual. However, your twin flame contracts teach you how to love yourself, teach you how to heal yourself, how to set boundaries, usually by presenting a tumultuous, turbulent, traumatic, transitional, transformative relationship, because you can't give each other the love that you want from each other. Doesn't mean you don't love each other. My father and I loved each other very much. He just wasn't really psyched having a gay witch for a son, God rest his soul. My mom seemed to cope with it. Because she knew I was gay from birth, practically. You know how it goes, mothers and sons. So you can feel the difference there. And they make you a better soulmate, right? Twin flames make you a better mate of your own soul, which prepares you to be the better soulmate in all your soulmate contracts, including the romantic sexual one, which is why I do the romantic soulmate reads differently. But the twin flame reads can be about any shape or form, because they're all helping you get to where you want to go, right? So whether it's a family member, a lover, a boss, doesn't matter. Got it? Good. This is a general read. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And I find that best done by focusing on your breath as you go, right? To be aware of the breath keeps you in the present moment. I will do the same. You'll hear me say breathe, right? Particularly when the energy gets a little intense or going too fast. I need to slow down, so I breathe. And I will get you the guidance, the clarity, and the grace that I can. You'll be able to feel what resonates, exhale what does not. Then I think we're ready to rock and roll. I'm going to start with the Caroline Myss archetype deck. One card for you, one for the twin. All the decks that I read are at the bottom of the description box. I'm a Virgo. I give good description box. Go check. There's some workshops on there that I did on Vimeo.com. So let's get up in this gig. Let's look at your contract. Oh, one other thing. You will be on this side. My Sagittarians, your twin will be on this side. We're not doing divine masculine, divine feminine. I won't say anymore, just for this series. My guides are like, nope, do it this way, and I like it better. Although you might find resonance on both sides, because twin, breathe. That would make sense why you don't have to do divine masculine, divine feminine, and twin flame contracts. I got it, because there's enough mirroring going on, right? So here we go. My my collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please. I need 2 cards. One to represent the Sagittarian, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. In this twin flame contract, July, August 2020, or timeless, what is their dominant archetype, soul power, that they are learning to heal and love within themselves? And please, 1 card for the twin in this Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract, July 2020, or timeless. A lot faster than it used to be. Oh, okay. So look, you got the teacher archetype. Wonderful. I obviously have the teacher archetype. My mother was a teacher, still is. And I can't not teach. I mean, you could drop me down in McDonald's in a week, I would be a trainer. How to make the perfect fries, right? But the twin here is the magical child archetype. Everybody has the child archetype. Not everybody has the magical child archetype. In other words, the main archetype is the child. Everybody has the child, the victim, the saboteur, the prostitute. They're just the survival family. Prostitute isn't what you think it means, but another conversation for another time. Just go read Sacred Contracts by Carolyn Mace. But the magical child is a subset of that archetype. So just off the bat, without even reading what's on the card, and I will read what's on there, this could easily be parent-child, right? And come on, a twin flame contract with a parent is going to teach you so much, because that's just got to be grueling. That's why I have cats, not kids. Like I said, my father and I had a twin flame contract. But remember, everybody has a child archetype. As I read you the definitions of the shadow and the light, the shadow is what's there to be healed, what you're learning to heal. You're teaching each other how to heal yourselves, right? So let's have a look at that and get that out of the way. Shadow attribute of the teacher. I think we know what this is, right? Manipulating or abusing students. How can you have your pudding if you haven't eaten your meat? Teaching negative traits and destructive skills, right? So somebody who really teaches in the shadow, they're out there, particularly spiritual teachers, and I've had a handful of them, so I learned from my shadow teachers what not to do, right? But if this is you, and it is, you're the Sagittarian, the light attribute, ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom, and that doesn't mean that you necessarily have a classroom, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that you have a text that you assign and homework and stuff like that. People who demonstrate how to do things are teachers. Sometimes people teach, they don't even realize they're doing it. It's not great in a romantic relationship. And that's why I don't have romantic relationships with my students either. That shadow side. Tricky AF, as the kids like to say. Speaking of the kids, the magical child archetype, the shadow attribute, pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles, right? It's like a womp womp magical child, womp womp. Believing that energy and action are not required for growth. Oh yeah, my gods love and appreciate that. No, they do not. They will squash you like the Monty Python foot. The light attribute, though, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. It's the belief that everything is possible, maybe not directly the experience. So, I mean, if there's a touch of naivete in here and you're the Sagittarian and the way truth flies out of Sag's mouth, I could see this being a very twin flamey. Let's keep going. What we're going to do is we're going to take 2 different tarot decks. Daughters of the Moon Tarot for you, my Saggies, and the Mythic Tarot for your twin. 5 cards, fire, earth, air, water, spirit, just to get you a little bit more information, and we will do the same for your twin. Nice deep breath, please. It's a lot of vibe on this one, kids. Lot of words. Please, my gods and goddesses sacred, I need 5 cards, element spread to clarify this Sagittarian teacher archetype in this Sagittarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract, July into August 2020, or Timeless, please. Element of fire. What does this Sagittarian teacher archetype want in this contract? Element of earth. What is the fuel which they already have to help them get what they want in this contract? Element of air. What are they predominantly thinking about this contract? Element of water. What are they predominantly feeling in this contract? And spirit, element of spirit, what is the point of view or the message, the voice of the soul who agreed to the contract? Because when you're in the body, you don't remember doing that. You go, why did I do this? You're not supposed to know. Before we interpret, I'm going to do the same for your twin, and then I will turn over your elements together at the same time, so we get a little bit more of a comparison, and the guides like it that way because it's faster. Upload times have been ridiculous, so I'm trying to keep these brief but informative. Breathe. They're saying, slow it down, kid, to me. Oh, God, and slow it down, kid, for the twin here. Please, like if you're both Sages, wouldn't be shocked. My gods and goddesses sacred, please, one card for each element, please. 5 cards in total, element spread for this magical child archetype in this Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract, July into August 2020. Or timeless, please. Element of fire, what does this magical child want? We'll put you back in, you flew out. Element of earth. What is it that they have, the fuel that feeds the fire to help them get what they want? What does this magical child archetype think about this contract predominantly? What does this magical child archetype feel about this predominantly? And what is the point of view of this magical child soul that agreed to this soul contract? We got him down on the table. Let's have a look. The teacher and the magical child. What do you want? You want oh my God, you both have 9 of Cups. Come on, I wasn't looking. I didn't say, hey, look, there's Elvis, and like arrange the cards. Come on, you got Kuan Yin, the 9 of Cups. You want to flow, and you want satisfying. You want your wish fulfillment, and they want the same thing. Now look, if that doesn't say it's romantic sexual right off the bat, it does not at all, because that could be, you know, can we just kind of go with the flow and have our dreams come true? Sure, maybe, but maybe not together. Right? Just because you want that doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen here, and that's why this could easily be, like I said, parent-child. And sometimes it flips where the child is the parent too. I am well aware of that that dynamic going on here. But I am going to say, like really feeling from the magical child here, like they really do believe that everything is possible. All right, if you watch the Matt Kahn video that I told you about, it's in the description box, about soul contracts, he says that there are rare occasions where a twin flame contract can alchemize into a soulmate contract. And they gave me an example yesterday of a brother and a sister, or 2 siblings, doesn't matter the gender, that are very, very twin flamey until the parents cross. And then they help each other heal, right? Like something traumatic that brings them together. And look what we're going through on planet Earth. He said it's rare. I'm just wondering how rare, right? Interesting. So we'll keep that literally on the table. I'll refer back to that as needed. What do you have to help you get what you want here? All right, this is where I think the two of you go in different directions, not necessarily part ways. You've got the card of judgment, right? So revelation, something is revealed to you. Yes, can be about reconciliation and all of that. But if you look at this card, it's women holding hands, doing a circle dance around a central point. Looks like they're in the mountains, but if you look at it again, they're dancing on the belly of the Great Mother. See, breastis is in the foreground and pubic mound in the background, right? It's like, oh, right? It's like, oh, something revealed, revelation, clarity comes in, so allows you to make, this would be the judgment card, a clear judgment, but a clear judgment, right? They've got the 2 wands. They're in indecision. Going back and forth and 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 back and forth. But that's what's helping them get this, that they are perhaps being indecisive, not as a result necessarily of pessimism and depression and not realizing that work is required for growth. That could be a part of it, actually. It might just be that what they want is so emotionally charging for them in a magical sense. It's such a dream, such a fantasy that they want, that they might not know how to take the next step, and hence the child archetype doesn't feel safe. It's not going to take us. If a child archetype, regardless of its sub-pattern, if the child doesn't feel safe, you could take it to the happiest place on earth, right? Disney World. It will cower and hide and not enjoy itself. But if a child does feel safe, they have that new beginning vibe of things, and they see things with innocence and they just jump in. So we're looking at some shadow archetype here that they need to process through, but I feel like that's giving you time to kind of see this differently, to have something revealed so that you can make a wise, teacher is wisdom family, wise, empowered decision here, choice, decision, what have you. Dominant thought, element of air. Well, you got the Sagittarius card, and you're the Sagittarius in this read, so, I mean, there are so many ways to interpret that. You're thinking about yourself. Well, you should be. Twin flame contracts then are about, how do I heal myself? Once you know it's a twin flame contract, you go, oh, I'm not supposed to change this person or heal them. Who they are is making me heal myself. Oh, that's a really good way to look at a twin flame contract. Because what they have, they're thinking about the King of Cups. So it's interesting, you have two court cards on the mind here. You've got that Sagittarius, which is probably about expansion, right? Mutable fire, what it is that you want and how what you want is changing and transforming as it does as you grow and mature. When I was a child, I played with childish things. Now I am an adult, I put away the things of childhood, right? Because you're dealing with a magical child. I think that there is something synchronistic about that flying out my mouth. But they might very well think of you as someone who's very emotionally mature and an adult figure. This is the King of Cups, the Cancerian card. And what's interesting is that the Cancerian card, Cancer is the mother of the zodiac. So even though it's the King of Cups, might think of you as home. This could be your child. And if not, if that's literally not what's going on, there might be a parent-child dynamic going on here, which is no bueno for a romantic sexual thing. In other words, they might have mommy issue. Just saying, magical child, King of Cups on the mind. Yeah, we're looking at a Cancerian vibe there. Wants to be nurtured, may not know how to nurture themselves, hence the twin flame. So what are you feeling? What are you feeling? Oh, what a feeling. Takes believing. Irene Cara. You got the card of the moon in the water position. You're not so sure. Your gut's telling you something. You just don't know what it is. And you've got two major arcana cards out of 5 so far. They haven't got any. They've got the 3 of Pentacles. So do understand that their emotional stability is there, but it's an initial stabilization, right? That they are working, they're learning, they're growing, but they're in the earlier stages of it. So emotionally, they might feel very secure around you, but as a result, might not be very secure in their own sense of safety to make the wise choices and decisions. And honestly, that's probably more about a maturity issue, and not to say that they're immature. An acorn is an immature oak tree. Got my arboreal correspondence is confused there. So you don't hate on an acorn because it ain't an oak tree yet, right? They will get there. They will grow in that place. So remember, immature doesn't always necessarily mean childish. In fact, childlike is what allows us to enjoy our relationships when we see the innocence in another and allow ourselves to be vulnerable in that way. So, there's a lot going on here, but they definitely feel stable around you. 3 of Pentacles, like they think this is a stable thing, which if this is parent and child, if that's like one of the people who are watching this or a group of you all, then there is love here. I just wonder how old this child is the thing. What is the point of view of the soul, the message of the soul who agreed to this contract? And I think it's important we remember, we didn't agree to these on this level. Oh, we got our major arcana cards. Major arcana cards, you now have 3. The witch. The witch. You're a lightning rod of inspiration, says the soul. The soul says that you have power to do this. You have everything that you need within you to cope with this, to get clear on what you want, and to make not just the decisions, but to actually incarnate, manifest your highest good and your greatest joy and your healing and your love of yourself. And as a teacher archetype, not only are you being taught, in this aspect you are very much an autodidact, self-taught. I'm an autodidact. I taught myself tarot. Please, I learned it when I was 12 years old. Who was going to teach a 12-year-old tarot? I learned, man. Oh God, Eileen Connolly, Handbook for the New Apprentice. New Handbook for the Apprentice? Yeah, woo. Mom, what does Tetragrammaton mean? What's the Hebrew name of God? What are you reading? Nothing. That conversation happened. So you get that, like, the mom-child vibe here that just came through me. The child has the star. The soul is saying, honey, just keep going. There is guidance. There is grace. Keep hoping, right? Here we go. Seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, belief that everything is possible. This is truly a magical child archetype. It's all about, can they mature it? Can they bring it into form? Or are they going to expect things to be done for them? Now look, when people start studying magic, laws of manifestation, attraction or otherwise, right? They think it's the cosmic cash machine. So when I get people new to the craft and manifestation, whatever, I'm I guess I should say I'm the Wikipedia Brown at this point of metaphysics and spirituality. I know a lot of different forms too. I always say to them, if it was the cosmic cash machine, darling, would I be doing this in Holbrook? Not that I would necessarily be doing it in Hollywood, but, you know, something else with an H that's just lovely. But I love where I live, don't get me wrong. I love where I live. So a very, very interesting contract we got going on here. We're going to take it further with 4 more cards in what we're going to call the center lane here, the soul contract itself. I forgot to turn the air conditioning off. I'm sorry if that is obscuring my voice. Usually I don't have a problem being heard. You know what I mean, Saggies? Breathe. As we're going to ask the Ascended Masters for what is the problem, using half of the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, the Suit of Problem. Let's do this. Let's find out there's always a problem. That's the point of Twin Flames. There's always a problem. In soulmate contracts, you have situations. In Twin Flames, you have problems. Same thing, really. It's just who's looking at it. The ego or the soul. My Ascended Masters, please, 1 card in clarity for this Sagittarian Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Twin Flame contract, July into August, or timeless in 2020, or whenever they're watching this, please. What's the problem going on here involving this teacher archetype and this magical child archetype in this Sag Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, Twin Flame contract? It's a trap. But it's a mental trap, most likely. This woman could very easily just walk around the bars, but because she thinks the only way out is to get that key that is out of reach, she does not look around her and see that there are no walls behind those jail bars. So how often do we think ourselves into a trap? Perhaps cyclic thinking, perhaps fatalistic thinking. But definitely that is a problem that happens in Twin Flames, that particularly if one is like, well, the only way it could be a miracle is if A, B, C, D, E, F, G, as if we know, right? And that could be, well, and the point of the center lane is that you're both sort of doing this. I feel like you're in that place where you're having the revelations, you are seeing it a bit clearly, but emotionally that doesn't mean you're any clearer to understanding how you really feel about this, because your emotions are mixed, particularly if you are the parent of this child. Or vice versa, right? If you are the child of this parent, because we see that happen in the world, right? That reversal of roles, just contracted that way. Doesn't mean it's easy. So let's get a healing angel for you from the Doreen Virtue Healing with the Angels Oracle. There you are, my angels and my archangels. Who is the healing angel that either this magical child or this teacher archetype may call upon to help them learn to love and heal themselves in this Sagittarian collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract, July into August 2020, or timeless. Please, my angels, what say you? The angel of self-acceptance. So, part of the way that you heal this situation within yourself is to accept, okay, I'm not thinking about this the right way. I've thought myself into a corner. I'm willing to see beyond my beliefs, ideas, and conclusions. It's actually a mantra from the Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn. I got them in December. I got a lot of them integrated into the subconscious, so I can call them up that quickly. We'll see if that's the one that hits the table. But, you know, self-acceptance, I also learned from Matt Kahn, instead of saying, I accept, just say, it's okay. It's okay. It would really be a good idea for you, teacher, to do a little inner child work. Might help you connect. Might help you understand. Might help you see the twin vibe there of what you need to look at within yourself. Not always that if you spot it, you got it. You know, that's a wonderful, cute little thing. Sometimes it is true if you spot it, you got it, right? But sometimes you spot what you have the opposite of. Like, for instance, I tend to be extremely honest. I can't stand liars. Like, I want to jab them in the third eye with a Bic pen. No way. That's too violent. Because it's like, don't lie to me. That's why I am extra super duper honest nowadays and have been for a while. A dark night of the soul will do that, right? Tricky, right? So I accept is one thing. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Whatever this is that I have trapped myself, it's okay. It's part of this contract. It was to be very, very kind. This is how you learn how to be accepting with yourself. It's so easy to accept yourself when everything's going your way and you're getting what you want. These are the situations where we learn to accept, yes, I am feeling this way, and it's okay, it will pass, but it's not about repression or possession by shadow either. What is the voice of the higher selves of all involved through the Whispers of Love Oracle? Breathe. The higher selves of all involved. That felt yummy. Please, can I have one card in clarity? What is the Whisper of Love? The piece of inspiration, information, or insight that would best serve this teacher and this magical child archetype in this Sagittarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract, July, August 2020, or timeless. Like attracts like. Like attracts like. If you are longing for more love in your life, you need to be more loving. Look, I'm going to tell you, really not getting so far. Particularly, this is one that could have come out and said that this was romantic. I mean, this particular deck. Not necessarily seeing, although the Nine of Cups there, you both have wishes that you want here. I just wonder if they're the same wish. But there are things that you have a lot in common here, as it would seem to be in a twin flame contract. If you're longing for more love in your life, you need to be more loving. This would make so much more sense, probably easier to apply in terms of family, because genetically you can't get, even if it's family by, you know, adoption or choice or whatever, family member, friend, that kind of thing. Really, really look at the lesson being given to you here, particularly if this person, this magical child, is being irresponsible, relying too much on hope and not action, not holding up their end of the bargain. If it is an adult, I mean, if it's a little kid, duh, right? Then your kid's just triggering you, which is different. Still to be twin flamey, though. One more card. This should, I hope, star card, put a period on this, or bring us some real clarity. So I'm going to ask the Ascended Masters who gave us that trap card for the perfect healing mantra. Doesn't matter who is watching this, who uses it, whether it's the teacher archetype or the magical child in this twin flame contract. My Ascended Masters, please, what is the perfect healing mantra for this Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, Twin Flame contract, July into August 2020, or timeless. What do you got here? What will really help this teacher and or this magical child help them heal themselves for their well-being and for the well-being of all? Creating cooperation. More gets accomplished when everyone has a role to play. Uh-oh. Feels like someone's not pulling their weight and looks like someone's really angry about it, or at least like, why don't they do what they say they're going to do? You're such a child. Which isn't fair if they're children. It's actually a literal child, they get to be children, they get to learn and grow. And if someone is really stuck in the shadow child aspect, any of the archetypes, it's usually because of abuse, neglect, codependence, or loss that might have nothing to do with you at all. I ain't saying this stuff is easy. Did I say this stuff was easy? No, I did not. Sometimes it's simple, but simple need not imply easy. Ask the Course in Miracles. Creating cooperation. When more gets accomplished when everyone has a role, R-O-L-E, to play. When cooperation is created, the unity of all is accessed to accomplish more in one moment than any one person can do alone. As a creator of cooperation, you are giving others the right to contribute, which only broadens the effect of collective expression. Once cooperation is created, all facades of competition melt away, allowing each individual to feel a renewed depth of self-worth, serving a vision greater than any degree of individual gain. This mantra is ideal for enhancing teamwork, transforming family dynamics. I keep coming back to that one. This feels like family for a lot of you. And increasing inner peace, which is kind of, I think, what you both want, right? You both want peace in this contract. You both want to be able to love each other in a way that is not so turbulent and tumultuous. And I would think that as long as you are healing your own selves individually to the best that you can, setting boundaries, diffusing your own triggers as you go, that is very possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to help each other heal. Yeah. Let me pop up the greater picture, the larger picture of the spread, and we'll see what else I see. All right, nice deep breath. Magic clap. Because we have you here as the teacher, my Sagittarian, the shadow attributes, manipulating or abusing students, teaching negative traits and destructive skills. And what I just heard is that if you really want to teach this magical child, teach by example. It's the best way for a magical child. The light attribute, ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom, and to communicate that through action, right? Through your own presence. Make sure that you are embodying the wisdom that you want them to have, right? And that would make sense, because what it is that you want here is Nine of Cups. Not just a break from this, but you want something soothing and satisfying and wish fulfillment and sort of go with the flow. Kuan Yin is the Chinese bodhisattva / goddess, depending on who you read, of contentment and compassion. Really, compassion being the larger place. So if you know this magical child's history, what they've been through, like I said, wounds of abuse, neglect, codependence, or loss going on there, a combination of any of them, maybe all of them, then that shadow attribute can really evoke your sense of compassion for this person, but not in a way that truncates your choices, because what's going to help you get that is to see the larger picture in some way. To have this revelation, to see what has not been seen before, but that has always been there. So it's not like it's been hiding in plain sight. And what's on your mind is perhaps this more Sagittarian, expansive point of view, right? Something a bit more, what's the word they're giving me? Not egalitarian, not just humanitarian, gregarious, friendly, like really, really being friendly in your thoughts towards this person, giving them another shot, particularly, like I said, if it is a family member rather than a romantic sexual context, because, oh my God, you've got the moon in the water position, which means you're probably feeling all sorts of different things emotionally. So, you know, your head and your heart might not be on the same page here, but if you can unite them through the throat chakra of wise choices, teaching choices, particularly as if you are indeed an autodidact, to teach yourself, right? Like, be your own teacher through this and let the universe be the classroom. And in a way, allow this magical child to teach you, sometimes by shadow, what not to do. And the voice of the soul here is the card of the witch, which is the magician in this tarot, that you are being guided. There is inspiration. You can manifest. You have everything that you need within you to at least you doing you. Because when it comes to this magical child, and again, the shadow attribute twin here, pessimism, depression, disbelief in miracles, believing that energy and action are not required for growth. That it's just going to happen. Yeah, but you still have to water the flowers and fertilize and weed, right? The light attribute, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. Now, that sort of renewal of spirit is what is going to carry them through this, particularly because what they want is that Nine of Cups, that wish fulfillment after a journey. But it feels like where they are with this Two of Wands, they haven't really even made the decision to take the journey necessary to achieve that Nine of Cups, but at least that decision is on the table for them. They most likely see you as the King of Cups. You know, and if I were to bounce these two together, your element of air, just because it's a Sagittarius card doesn't mean that you're not seeing that playfulness, right? That Sagittarian, gregarious playfulness, expansiveness, adventurous nature in this magical child. They would certainly embody that for you, but get that they see you as someone who is emotionally mature, which is interesting because you got the Moon card in there. Unless you are extremely intuitive, then they might really feel that, think of you that way. Someone who's really intuitive, someone who is perhaps emotional. But if you're not clear on that yourself, then that can be a mixed signal to them as well. And yet, their emotions, their element of water here, Three of Pentacles, that there is a stable foundation here, that there is work that still needs to be done, but a solid foundation upon which to build. And with that Star card, the voice of the soul, that they have hopes for something working out. I just wonder if they get how much work is necessary. Hope is wonderful. Hope is a grace. I call the grace of hope the Mother Grace, the Mother Goddess Grace. Please, Mother Goddess, grant me the grace of hope that there is a divine plan in this somehow, and I alone do nothing, but with the gods all things are possible. It's an extrapolation of a prayer. But I am also well aware that you can pray as much as you want, but you still got to walk all the way home, right? You can have guidance and grace every step of the way, but you have to put down the right foot and then the left foot in rapid succession, right? So I feel the conflict here where you as a teacher perhaps have really taught yourself, maybe pulled yourself up by the bootstraps a bunch of different times, and that might be part of this mental trap here. For both of you, you both might be mentally trapped in the roles that you play. And if this is indeed teacher-student, and there is a student archetype card that could have come up here, so that's why I'm not feeling like this is classroom-based, then there's something, perhaps you are trapped in your roles here, or maybe you can only see each other in the roles. Like there was a big moment, I don't remember the exact day, but where I saw my mother not just as my mother, but as a woman and a person, right? That comes around adolescence usually, unless there is, arrested development. I mean, the psychological development, not the TV show. And ultimately, the healing for that available is through self-acceptance, accepting where you are, accepting that, yes, I'm not seeing this clearly, and yes, I'm probably projecting things from the past on here, but also accepting that for you at least, Sagittarian, that I have everything I need to deal with this, but if I knew how to deal with it, I would have already. This is my own journey. I'm learning how to heal myself. I'm learning how to love myself. And then, of course, what is the voice of the higher self? Like attracts like. If you're longing for more love in your life, you need to be more loving. So maybe you can be more loving with this magical child, and that will certainly alleviate some of your own not so sure about how you feel when you see this magical child as a soul in a body that was chosen to come in and play this role for you so that you could get clear on some stuff and teach yourself what you need to learn here. And understand that everybody has a role here, right? With this mantra of creating cooperation, more gets accomplished when everyone has a role to play. And it feels like there's been this tug of war going back and forth between the two of you wanting them to take more of a role in this relationship, in this contract, but them not really sure if they're allowed to. Because my sense is they see you perhaps as such an authority figure, though they may never admit to it, that they might be afraid of screwing it up and therefore unwilling to take the action required for growth. But if you can really encourage them, as this mantra indicates, more gets accomplished when everyone has a role to play. It feels like, maybe there's an opportunity to alchemize this relationship from twin flame to soulmate, but definitely there's an opportunity here for like attracting like to give space, and for there to be greater cooperation between the two of you, regardless of the form this relationship takes. I mean, really, to see this as a teacher-student relationship isn't that hard, but everyone's our teacher, right? Even if they show us what not to do. So, may the Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need in this twin flame contract to learn, to heal, to grow, to see the trap that they've created for themselves within their own mind that they didn't know was a trap at the time, so that they can really accept that they're doing the best that they can and learn self-acceptance is part of this contract for them, that like attracts like, and that if they can bring love to this situation, they will not just feel that love, but it will create more love in their lives, inner and outer, and that everybody's got a role in this, and that more gets accomplished when everyone in this contract has a role to play for the well-being of all. May they be so blessed. So mote it be. And so it is. Thank you for watching my Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Please do like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment if this resonated for you, because I do like the feedback. Otherwise, wishing you the very best and the very blessed of your twin flame contracts for July, August, or timeless, whenever you are watching this. Hail, farewell, and blessed be.